can't believe I agreed to do this. Oh, come on. Don't be a coward. We're going into the school now, get to the printing room, steal the semester's exams, and leave. It's that simple. And you're sure you hacked the school system, and the surveillance system is definitely off. And yes, everything is off. The cameras, the internet connection, the electricity, everything. Now let's go. We climbed the main gate and got into the school building. It was pretty dark, and honestly, I was terrified. But I couldn't say anything to Michelle. She was my sister, and as a cheerleader, she was gorgeous. But she was so weak-hearted. Everything was going according to plan. We got into the printing room, found the exams in the first drawer, did our happy dance, and were just about to leave when we heard a voice behind us. Well, look who is here. Is she who I think she is? I think she is who you think she is. This girl knew everyone's secret in the school. The girl who knew my secret. She could expose me in front of Michelle. We both turned around, forcing a smile. Layla, Emily. She shut the door, dragged a chair, and sat on it like a queen. I didn't expect any guests tonight. You stay here every night? Oh no, only on the weekends. What do? Communicate with ghosts? I could see the anger on her face. She stood up and took a deep breath. She's joking! You know her. Don't take anything she says seriously. Her face lit up and she batted her eyelashes at me. I will forgive her only for you. You sweet, sweet girl. She came up to me, put her hands on my face, and kissed me. Oh, I've waited for months for this moment. Oh, 1 second. I should write this in my diary. She took out a notebook from her bag and started writing. She was humming a familiar tune. Suddenly, Michelle started screaming and calling for help, but I was sure no one was going to hear us. The room had no windows, and the school was practically in the middle of nowhere. And now there was no signal, no internet connection, no electricity, all thanks to me. Layla didn't move and kept calmly writing in her diary. When she was done, she brought another chair. Come, Emily, come, sit next to me. If you ever leave your place, I swear I'm gonna... I got up and sat next to Layla. Then she took out some snacks from her bag and shared them with me. We're not going to share anything with Michelle. She's a bad girl. I nodded my head in agreement. I had to figure a way to leave this place. So I said, I need to go to the bathroom. Babe, you can go. You don't need my permission. I didn't even lock the door. Did you see me doing it? Michelle and I both stared at each other and quickly ran to the door. We tried to open it, but it didn't budge. We pushed against it, kicked it, and tried everything, but nothing worked. Why are you doing this? Being the principal's daughter doesn't give you any authority to sneak into the school and spend nights here or trap us here. Actually, being the principal's daughter means that the school is my kingdom, you moron. Calm down, please. Just ignore her. Can you please open the door for me? Babe, I told you, I didn't lock it, I swear. But don't worry, I have a solution. She took out a bottle of juice, drank it all at once, and handed it to me. Here, take this. You can do it behind the closet. I'm not going to sneak up on you, I promise. Oh God, this girl was crazy. I said it was fine and that I could wait. Michelle sat on the floor and held her head in her hands. I'm hungry. Give me some food, Layla. Say please. You wish. Stop it, Michelle. Just say it. Please. Give me some food. Please. 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 Happy now? She gave her food and she started eating like a hungry monster. Layla looked away disgusted. I tried to reason with her. I really appreciate that you like me, although I'm not as good looking as Michelle. Oh no. I'm sapiosexual. I find intelligence so attractive. Yes, I do think you're so smart too. And I believe a smart girl like you knows that she should open the door now and let us go. She got up looking furious and said, Oh my God! I said I didn't lock it! Are you stupid or blind? Immediately, I tried to calm her down and tell her she was right, but she whispered in my ears, I know your little secret. Then she pushed me to where Michelle was sitting. I don't like stupid people. Go sit next to your stupid sister, you stupid creature. Can't believe they say you're a genius. Michelle got really angry and said, Oh yeah? Why should we obey you now? You're stuck here just like us. So shut up or else. Layla looked terrified and started crying annoyingly. She stood up and started kicking and pushing the door. I swear, I'm gonna tell Daddy when I'm out of here. I was about to tell her to not even bother opening the door when suddenly the door flew open. Michelle and I ran to the door, pushed Layla out of the way, and went straight to the main door. It was locked. We checked the classroom's doors, and they were all locked. The bathrooms, the teacher's room, the principal's office, everything was locked. We were stuck in the hallway. Michelle started screaming again. The echo was the only reply. Michelle ran to Layla, screaming, "If you don't open the doors, Layla, I'm gonna..." I ran after her and managed to stop her from attacking Layla. She collapsed on the floor and started crying. I'm sorry. I locked all the doors when the power was out. I was afraid someone was going to hurt me. I locked them and threw the keys under the doors into the empty rooms. So, you chose to lock the doors and trap yourself instead of running away, you airhead? I stood between the two of them. I didn't know what to do. I even felt sorry for her. I don't know why, but she seemed lost and helpless at that moment. I looked at her when I noticed it. The picture above her. It wasn't there when we first entered to get the exams. This was my school, and I was sure this picture was never there. I asked Michelle if she saw it before, and she said no and told me to leave her alone. I took a close look at that picture. It was the principal. He looked younger, holding a gold cup, and the number 1993 was engraved at the bottom. Layla, did you hang that picture? Layla stopped crying and fell silent. I told her to speak, but she didn't reply. I ran to the printing room and looked for her bag. I took out her notebook and started reading. Oh my God! Put it away, Emily. I was shocked and speechless. What's going on? Michelle stood there silent. Let's talk! There is nothing to talk about, Em. Now the three of us are stuck here, and there is nothing we can do about it. Okay. Bring Layla, and let's sit here in this room and stick together. The two of them joined me, and the three of us sat there in complete silence. Layla took some more food out of her bag, and when she was about to take her first bite, she fell asleep. You like her? She wrote that in her notebook. You used to go to her house and sing under her window? Is that the same song she was humming? Oh my God, who are you? Why didn't you even tell me that you were into girls? Tell you what, that I loved her from the bottom of my heart, and she kept rejecting me because she was so into my sister? Yeah, that must have been hard. So, you do have feelings? Sing to her? To her? Girl, she's crazy! Oh, stop it. I like tough girls. Whatever, I'm going to sleep. Such a crazy girl. I also felt sleepy. I leaned to the wall and closed my eyes. Why did she hang that picture there? I was a light sleeper. I woke up in the middle of the night when I heard some noise. I saw her looking through the drawers. What are you doing, Layla? She froze. I couldn't sleep. I just wanted something to read. I got up, headed to her, and snatched the paper from her. I almost passed out when I saw what was written on the paper. The number 1993 was written all over the paper. I yelled at her and demanded to know what was going on. But Layla said, Honey, I know your secret. I'm the one who should be yelling at you right now. So shut up or I'm going to tell Michelle everything and I'm sure she will finish you off in a flash. I gulped. This girl was evil. I can't believe I felt sorry for her just hours ago. She got back to her place and fell asleep holding her bag tightly. I stayed up all night. I couldn't sleep thinking about everything. The picture, the number 1993, her notebook, and God only knew what else her bag contained. When Michelle woke up in the morning, the first thing she did was run to the main door. It was a translucent glass door, and Michelle started screaming and kicking it. Then Layla came and joined her. I stood behind them. There is no use! No one is going to hear or see you. Then Layla turned to me. Oh yeah? Why did you want to get the exams, huh? You're a genius. You can get A+ easily. Why did you do all of this? Think about it, Michelle. What is your sister up to? Oh my God, was she going to say it? Michelle froze and stared into my eyes. You can have me but cannot hold me. Hard to gain me and quickly lose me. If treated with care, I can be great. And if betrayed, I will break. I looked deep into her eyes. Trust. I was going to ask her why she mentioned trust now and if she knew anything about my secret, when the annoying Layla said, Oh, you're her? Oh my God, you're her! Who? The Great Buffalo, the famous writer on Wattpad. That's her last riddle. She just posted a part of her novel last night. I can't believe it's you, Michelle! And she started hugging her and touching her face like a psycho. Now that you know, Please, we should keep it a secret. I'm not planning to reveal my identity. Yes! Yes, babe! Come on, let's go inside. I still have some food. Let's feed our amazing rider. While they walked beside me, I looked at Michelle in disbelief. The great buffalo? Really? I followed them. Okay, since everyone has a secret here, obviously, I think we should all start telling the truth. No more secrets here. Oh, I have a huge secret. I know a way to get out of here. Seriously, Layla? And you waited until now? Don't yell at me, idiot. Yes, and I'm not going to say anything until Michelle tells me what will happen in the last part of her novel, Stuck in the Printing Room. Wait, what's the name of the novel? Stuck in the Printing Room? Michelle? Does she plan all of this to get inspired to finish her stupid novel? Layla told me to shut up, and Michelle totally ignored my question. They both started discussing her novel, and Layla handed her a pencil and a notebook. Layla was all over her. One minute she was hugging her, and the next she was giving her a shoulder massage. I got disgusted and got up to leave. When Layla said, "Oh, by the way, Dad told me there is no school for the following 2 weeks at least because of the virus. They made their final decision last night." I turned around looking super angry. "And you waited until now to tell us, you psycho?" I was about to attack her, but this time Michelle came to her rescue. "Calm down. She said she has a way to get us out of this place. Don't upset her." "Get your hands away from me. I don't trust you anymore. Which side are you on?" "I'm with the one who will get me out of this creepy place." I didn't reply. I knew she was right. I thought we would be leaving this place in 2 days when school started on Monday. But since it was now more than 2 weeks, I had to do something. Fast. Just finish your novel, woman." I left the room and started wandering around. I needed to be away from these two. I reached the janitor room, and I knew it was locked, but I just wanted to try again out of boredom. I opened the door, and it opened. I was shocked and quickly ran into the room to open the window. I saw a group of boys playing soccer in the yard behind the school's building. I was about to shout at them and ask for help when I backed off, closed the window, and got out of the janitor room. I can't leave now. I have something to fix first. I looked at the principal's picture and threw the baseball at it. I broke its glass. Michelle and Layla left the room when they heard the noise and looked shocked. "Oh my God! You broke Daddy's picture! How dare you, you fool!" "Oh yeah? What are you going to do about it?" "I swear, when I'm going to tell your secret to everyone, I'm going to ruin you." "You know what? I really don't care if you..." "Cut it out, idiots! My brain doesn't work under pressure. Quietness is my inspiration. So, shut up, both of you, if you want me to finish my great novel and get out of here. Whatever." And Layla put her arm around her. "Oh, sorry, babe. Let's go inside. I'm going to give you a leg massage as you write." I continued my walk in the hallway, looking at the pictures on the walls. I noticed a picture of the principal during one of the school's math competitions. It was also taken in 1993, but this time, he was wearing a ring around his finger. Did he get married in 1993? What's the secret about this year? No, wait. He is divorced now. Not really. I mean, Layla's mom just ran away and disappeared years ago. Just like that. Oh, that explains why this girl feels lost. I bet she misses her mom so badly. I sat down on the ground, feeling really tired. I hadn't slept all night, and before I knew it, I was fast asleep. I woke up hours later because of Layla's loud screeching. I went to the printing room and saw Layla holding the notebook crying loudly, and Michelle standing there like a scared mouse. "That's how you finished the novel? You made them break up? He travels abroad? She gets sick? Then he passes away? Then she passes away after him? What, Michelle?" "Listen, people pass away sometimes." But Layla's face went pale, and she passed out immediately. We both stared at each other. "Give me her bag." I went through her stuff until I found it. I knew she would have it. "It's the device I created, Michelle." "Oh, how did she steal it?" This girl is a genius. "I just have to enter the code, and it will cancel everything. The power will come back, the internet connection, everything. Remember the code?" "Oh yeah, 2020. The best year ever." I entered the code, but it said error. We looked at each other terrified. She changed the code. Then I remembered. I knew exactly what to enter. 1993. And it said access granted. And the power was back. We both jumped with happiness. "You genius, I love you." "I love you too, sis. The greatest buffalo I have ever met." I have no idea who that is. "What? She was faking it? She wasn't that writer? Well, she wasn't as dumb as I thought she was. We both laughed. Let's charge our phones. We took Layla's charger and charged our phones, then called the police. They arrived in minutes and saved us. Layla was still on the floor, and the nurse started taking care of her. She woke and screamed, "Bring them back to life, Michelle!" "I can't, babe. It's impossible." She looked shocked and passed out again. When we were about to leave, Michelle stopped me, and with a serious look on her face, she said, "Are you going to tell me now what your secret is?" Oh no. I should have prepared myself for this. How was I going to tell her this? It's about the exams. What about them? I write them. You what? She looked really mad now. The principal and I are partners. I write the exams for him before the day of the exam arrives. Oh, so you're telling me that you already knew what questions were going to be included in the exam and never told me before? Why? And you still planned for all of this and involved me in all this craziness? Why? I needed to test my device and live this adventure and learn something from it since, Run for your life. Michelle started running after me in the school's yard, and I ran like a cheetah. We are still running until the moment you're watching this. No, we're not. Just kidding. Please don't hate me. Thanks for watching my story. I stared down at the box of crayons. Why did these kids keep tearing the wrappers off? I couldn't read the names now. Hey, Dumbo, why's your grass purple? Are you an alien from planet Stupid? It's purple because I've got an imagination. As I stormed off to the teacher to ask for a new box of crayons, I suddenly fell face forward. I tripped over a skipping rope I hadn't seen. Hi, I'm Anna. And no, my grass is actually purple because I'm colorblind. Before I continue, click on like and subscribe. Otherwise, you'll stop seeing your favorite color. Things weren't too bad when I was little, but my condition really started affecting my life in high school. See, imagine your mom's not dressing you anymore and you want to look good, but if you're colorblind, you can end up doing some really embarrassing stuff. I went to school one day wearing what I thought was a very cute blue shirt, but Alexa, the class bully, screamed that I looked like a toad in that ugly green shirt. The other day, I ended up wearing mismatched stockings, and while everyone was busy laughing, I said it was a bold-fashioned choice. So I usually just ended up sticking to black and white, which is cool if you're like 50. One day, as soon as I walked into school, one of the guys shouted, "Oh my god, are you okay? Your eyes are bleeding." What? I didn't feel anything. Yeah, really funny. Ha ha, weirdo. But apparently, it wasn't a joke, because pretty soon, a crowd had huddled around me, looking closely at my eyes. Ha! She's not bleeding, she's just blind. What do you do when you're blind? You put red lip liner on your eyes and black on your lips. Oh my god. Had I really? As I tried to get out of there to wash my face, Alexa and her rat pack just pushed me back and started taking pictures. Just then, someone pushed their way through, and I turned to see the school's football captain and the most handsome guy on the planet, Kevin. "Hey, cut it out! You guys are the worst!" Then he suddenly pulled me away from Alexa and her minions and took me to a quiet corner. What he did next left me speechless. He took out some tissue paper and wiped my tears. And of course, the horrendous lip liner too. Hope you're okay. You know why they act that way, right? They're jealous because you're so beautiful. I gasped. Had Kevin just called me beautiful? But before I could even wrap my head around it, he was gone. The next day at lunch, I was sitting by myself, as usual. I could see the guys in class were always looking over at me, but while Alexa and her gang were around, they wouldn't dare to come and sit next to me. The cowards. But just then, Kevin came by and asked if he could join me. And before I knew what was happening, the two of us were hanging out all the time. He was pretty popular and always had a bunch of friends around, but he never made me feel left out. Of course, this didn't sit well with Alexa. She was part of the cheerleading squad, so she would always be there at every practice match, and she just wouldn't stop flirting with him. Hey! Can't wait for the out-of-town game next week. An overnight trip will be so fun. Why don't you come to my room after the game? We'll definitely be having a party. Kevin nodded and she smirked at me and walked away. I felt furious. She's really pretty, isn't she? I think she's into me. Maybe I should ask her out. I felt my heart sink right down to my toes. Yeah, whatever, if you want to. Just as I was about to walk away, he grabbed my hand. Or I could ask you out, 'cause you're way prettier, and you have my heart. Someone bring me back to planet Earth! I was over the moon! I was dating Dream Boy Kevin! One day, while we were strolling through the park, I said to Kevin that it was pretty cool we were both from African-American families. He started laughing. Anna, what are you talking about? I'm black. You're totally white. This was news to me. I was pretty sure he was pulling my leg. When I went home that day, I walked straight into one of Mom and Dad's screaming matches. Dad could never hold a job and was always getting into trouble. Hey, guys, cut it out for a sec. Tell me something. Are we black or white? Mom and Dad both stared at me blankly for a second. Dad said, "Why don't you answer her stupid questions and leave me alone?" Mom said, "Of course we're white, Anna. And no, I'm not done with you. Your dad has really crossed the line. He stole money from my own aunt, and everyone in the family knows." Jeez, he'd really done it this time. I don't know how Mom puts up with him. I just couldn't be around them, so I grabbed my keys and rushed out of the house. As I turned around, I saw a red signal and rushed past it. Blaring in the distance was a truck. It kept flicking its lights, and I pushed on the brakes as hard as I could. Oh no! As I slowly opened my eyes, I saw the two of them arguing again. My dad said, "Why do you even let her drive? Now I'll have to pay this ridiculous hospital bill. Why don't you go steal some more money?" Then I said, "Orange?" "What?" Mom asked. "I'm problem cat pink." "Oh God, and now she's blabbering," my dad said. Why couldn't I speak properly? What was happening? The doctor explained that because I'd had some head trauma, I was having difficulty putting words together. But I just had to keep trying, and it would be fine. The doctor said it's minor, but I lobster SpongeBob so much. "Give us some time, dear. You'll be fine," Mom said. The day I got home from the hospital, Kevin came over to see me. "So, you know how much I love you, right? Well, I want to show you how serious I am about you. I want you to meet my parents." What? Meet Kevin's parents? That's the kind of seriousness every girl is looking for. "Oh, Moon, go! Ink so hope." "What?" Kevin asked. I took out my notebook and wrote. "The doctor said I won't be able to put words together properly for some time, and it's worse when I'm excited or anxious. Maybe we should do this later?" "You'll be fine when you're with me. Don't worry," Kevin assured me. Kevin's smile made all the difference in the world. I was still anxious, though, because there were his parents. And from what he told me, they seemed a little hoity-toity. The next day at their house, I was so nervous. "Hello, lovely house." I was trying to be as respectful as possible to his parents while keeping my sentences really short. But then I tried complimenting the food, and I wished I'd kept my mouth shut. "Wow, the good food dog, eggplant the Scrabble. Wait, no, the stapler, stone, jello. No. Oh, dear God." Then Kevin saved me and said, "You mean you really like the food? Well, thanks, Anna. That's very sweet of you." I just smiled meekly at his parents. No amount of covering up from Kevin was going to make them like me now, and I was right. This is the only girl you could find? She's crazy. This is exactly why we want you to meet Sabrina. She's your dad's business partner's daughter, and she is extremely well-behaved. I could hear Kevin's mom's voice from the kitchen. But, well, there was nothing I could do about it. Over the next week, I noticed my sentences were improving, but Kevin wasn't around for me to tell him. He had the flu, so he wanted to stay in. Or so I thought. One day, I got a text from him that left me completely shook. "Dear Anna, as much as I adore you, I have to end this relationship. My parents really want me to date Sabrina, and they won't have it any other way. Please forgive me. I hope we can still be friends." What? Was this for real? The guy who claimed to love me was leaving me because I wasn't good enough for his parents? I felt beyond furious and blocked his number. He didn't even have the decency to say all this to my face, and he thought we could be friends? I spent the whole weekend crying over sad movies with tubs of ice cream. I didn't want to go to school and ever see him again. The next day, while I was putting stuff in my locker, that jerk walked up to me. "Hey, I've been trying to get in touch." I slammed the locker door and turned away. "I don't want to hear it, Kevin. Leave me alone." And here I was at lunch again, back to sitting by myself. And I got a C on my math test because I hadn't studied at all. Suddenly, someone snatched the test paper out of my hands. "Not so smart now, are we? What's it like being stupid and blind?" "Alexa, have you ever gotten an A in anything?" "I'll take that, thanks." Colin, this guy from my class, snatched the paper out of a furious Alexa's hand and came and sat next to me. He'd never spoken to me before. "Hey, you ever need help with math, let me know. I'd be happy to tutor you," Colin said. I was just about to say no thanks when I saw Kevin looking over at us from the corner of my eye. I was hurt and angry, and I wanted him to eat his heart out right now. "Yeah, I think I could really use the help. Say we meet here every day during recess?" The next few days, I started hanging out with Colin all the time. We went to the school's football game, and I saw Kevin look at us as we walked up to the bleachers. I immediately took Colin's hand and smiled at him. One evening, Colin came to my place to work on a school project. As we laughed and worked together, I couldn't help thinking he was really cute. When he was leaving, I walked him out, and he turned to me on the porch. "Hey, it's been a week since we started hanging out, but it feels like I've known you a really long time." Then he took my hand and pulled me close. "Uh-oh. What was happening?" "I don't know if you know this, but you've got the most gorgeous green eyes." What a smooth talker. As he was leaning in to kiss me, I moved closer too. And, "Anna, what are you doing here?" I demanded. I felt so angry looking at Kevin. "I'm so sorry, Anna." I know why you're mad and I can explain. And what's this loser doing here? Kevin asked. He is not a loser. He really cares about me, unlike you. I could feel Colin getting all worked up beside me. Kevin said, just listen, okay? I overheard my parents today talking about how they texted you from my phone. It wasn't me, Anna. I would never do that. For a minute, I was speechless. My heart was just melting looking at his face. But then there was Colin, still holding on to me. Colin said, you know we have something special, Anna. Are you really going to choose him over me? I said, no, but it really wasn't his fault either, you know? This is so confusing. Kevin said, I'm willing to show you how much you mean to me. Maybe this guy can do the same, if he's up for it. Oh, I'm up for it. There's no way she's choosing the guy who didn't even check why she left him. I wasn't sure how I felt about that, but, well, then let the dating games begin. As I was getting ready the next evening, I was pretty surprised that the dress Colin had sent me looked like Cinderella's. But then he turned up in an actual carriage, looking like Prince Charming. I felt like I was in a fairy tale. After you, my lady, Colin said. This place is beautiful, Colin. Oh, look, everyone here is dressed up as a character, I said. Yes, but none of them look as beautiful as you. Colin was such a sweetheart. I had the most amazing night at this club, dancing away my worries. These are for you, my lady, Colin said. Colin was giving me yellow roses? You want to friend zone me after this amazing night? No, cutie, they're red. You're just seeing them as yellow. Friend zone you? I can never. It was Kevin's turn next, and he turned up in a limo and whisked me away to my favorite boy band's concert. And we had front row tickets and backstage passes as I got selfies with the band. I couldn't believe he had done this for me. My life had turned upside down in a week. The next few days were just a whirlwind of candlelit dinners, romantic moonlit walks, picnics in the park, and boat rides on the lake. And I was being showered with the most amazing gifts every day. If I kept eating chocolate truffles at this rate, I wouldn't be able to fit in any of the pretty dresses I was getting. I was getting more and more confused, too. Both the boys were so sweet, and they really seemed to care about me. How was I ever gonna decide? Eventually, it was my birthday, and I got a text from Kevin at midnight sharp. Happy birthday to the love of my life. Just then, I heard someone throw a pebble at my window. It was Colin. I couldn't wait till tomorrow to give you your present. Happy birthday, sweetheart, Colin said. I gasped when I saw the Apple Watch. I've been trying to make my parents get this for me since forever. How did you know I wanted this? I asked. I'm pretty sure you told me, babe. To my disappointment, Kevin didn't even come and see me the next morning. Of course, Colin was more than happy to have me all to himself on my birthday. We had a great time at the movies, and later, he cooked me dinner at his place. Looking at his face in the moonlight, my heart melted a little. Maybe he was the better guy. He left the table to get dessert, and suddenly his phone beeped. I just happened to glance at it, and suddenly my gaze froze. Why did he have a text from my dad? I opened it, and it said, Told you she'll love the present. Make sure she makes up her mind about you before that boy is back. Colin came back and stopped short when he saw his phone in my hand. What's all this, Colin? I asked angrily. He slowly sat down and wouldn't even look at me as he said he had to tell me something. Your dad has been paying me to keep you distracted from any thoughts of Kevin. What I didn't know was that I would actually fall in love with you. I'm so sorry, but please know my feelings for you are real. I was shocked and speechless. I felt disgusted by Dad, and I couldn't believe Colin had agreed to trick me like that. I just threw my napkin down and left. As soon as I got back home, I went straight to the lounge where my parents were watching TV. I said, Mom, you know what this guy did? He paid Colin to play with my feelings and keep my mind off of Kevin. I started crying as I told Mom the whole story. I had never seen her this furious. Mom screamed at Dad. Why would you do such a thing? Oh, jeez. Don't make such a big deal of it. I only did it because Kevin's parents were paying me to keep her away from their son. I knew she would never listen to me if I talked to her, so I thought Colin would be a good distraction. What's the problem? I picked a nice guy for her, and I could use the money to pay off our debts. Mom got up and said, Not our debts, your debts. Even this house is mine because I pay for the rent. I've had enough. Get out, now. Finally. Go, Mom. Dad was furious and left. I felt completely betrayed by Colin, and Kevin had just disappeared. I was done with these stupid boys playing with my feelings. I spent the next few days sulking in my room and watching videos on my Story Animated. I came across one where the girl's dad had been paying her boyfriend to spy on her for years. Well, that was believable. Kevin showed up the next morning. I told him I was done with everyone. He said he'd had to go somewhere urgently, and he couldn't get a flight out sooner because of bad weather. I said, What's so urgent? You had to go to Rome to eat pizza? Your private jet wasn't available? Kevin said, Listen, let me make it up to you. Just give me one chance. That's all I'm asking. Reluctantly, I agreed. He blindfolded me and drove me somewhere, refusing to tell me anything. He helped me out of the car, and I could feel the sea breeze on my face. Kevin, what's the big secret? I've seen the sea 1,000,000,000 times. Not like this. Just don't open your eyes till I tell you. The blindfold came off, and I felt him placing glasses on my nose. Now, I opened my eyes, and I gasped. I was seeing colors properly for the first time. I didn't know the sea was that shade of blue. I couldn't get over the sky. And the trees, the sand. Kevin was laughing and recording my reaction. I started crying. I'd been living in a faded world, and it was so much more beautiful and brighter than I could have ever thought possible. Kevin wrapped me in one of his bear hugs. God, I miss these hugs. He said he'd flown over to a place in Europe where a company was making these glasses. They were still in the testing phase, but he wanted to give me the perfect gift. It was at that moment that I knew it was always Kevin, and for the first time, I could really see how beautiful and deep his green eyes were. Kiss me, Kevin. I want you to kiss me. We shared the most magical kiss, and I had fireworks going off in my head of every color.